Hi, I'm Samantha McDouglas from thebridgeteachers.com. Come look over my shoulder at a play problem.
On this hand, our partner was the dealer. They passed, East passed. We opened one spade, showing 5 or more spades and an opening hand or better. West passed. Our partner bid 2 spades, showing 6 to 9 points and 3 or 4 spades. East passed, and now we bid 4 spades. After that, everyone passed. West led the 8 of spades. And before you ever play a card, it is vital to assess the hand. When we are playing in a trump suit, we want to assess the hand by counting losers. So I'm going to give you 3 seconds. Go ahead and count losers. How many losers do we have? We have 4. If we start with a diamond suit, when we ask ourselves the question out of 2 diamonds, how many are we in danger of losing? The answer is 1. We have the ace, but we don't have any good cards in the north hand to play on the 7, so it is in danger of losing. When we look at the club suit, we have 3 clubs. The ace can take a trick, and we can play the king on the 4, but that 6 is in danger of losing. When you count losers, you want to be pessimistic about where the missing high cards are going to play. For instance, you want to assume that the queen of clubs is going to play on the jack of clubs. This way, preventing the queen of clubs from playing on the jack of clubs becomes a part of your plan. When we look at the heart suit, we have 1 heart loser because we are missing the ace. In spades, we have 1 loser because we are missing the queen. Next, we want to compare the number of losers we have to the number of losers that we can afford. We are in 4 spades. How many losers can we afford? 3. We need 10 of the 13 tricks, so we can afford 3. We have 4 losers, so we have to get rid of how many to make our contract? 1. Now remember, if we can get rid of more than 1, we get even more points. And more points equals a better score, helps you win. Especially playing duplicate, an overtrick could be the difference between a very good score and a very bad score. So on this hand, what options do we have for getting rid of losers? Our first choice would be to look for a discard. We can't discard on this hand because our hearts and our clubs are even, and although our diamonds are uneven, we are unlikely to be able to make the 3rd or 4th diamond good for a discard. It is possible, and that is something to keep an eye on, but it is unlikely. We also can't trump because, again, the club suit and the heart suit are even, and the diamond suit is short in the wrong hand. Our third and final way to get rid of losers is finesse. What suit or suits can we finesse in on this hand? We can finesse in spades. We can also finesse in clubs. If you were to lead spades, how would you finesse in spades? I would finesse by leading the jack. We could also lead the 9 from the north hand and forcing East to choose before we choose. If East plays the queen, we will play the ace or the king. And if East plays low, we will play low. We play the jack or the 9 to ensure that if the trick wins, we win in the correct hand to finesse a second time. Has the opponent's lead changed this for us? No. When you plan to finesse in a suit, if the opponents lead the suit, you can still take the finesse. And not only can still take the finesse, but you probably should. Unless their lead gives you an opening for some other way to get rid of the loser, or gives you a strong indication that the finesse is not going to be working, you should be taking the finesse just the same as you would when the opponents lead the suit. Remember that the goal of the spade finesse is to force East to choose before we choose. And we can do that by leading from the north hand. This makes East play a card before we play a card from the south hand. But actually, it's even better when West does it, because when West leads spades, our spades are now playing 4th. But the important part of this is that we are still playing after East. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and do the finesse just like we would if we had led the suit. We're going to play the jack. the opponent is going to play low, and we are going to play low. We could immediately take the finesse a second time by leading the 9 or the 6 of spades from north, and if East plays low, playing low. Would you do that? No. I would start by playing the ace or the king. There are only 3 trump outstanding. Let's find out where they are. We're going to do this by playing the ace or the king. Doesn't matter which one. This will tell us what's going on in the suit. If everybody follows, how many spades are left outstanding in the opponent's hands? Only 1. And it doesn't matter where it is, we can pull it by playing the king. If on this trick someone had shown out, we would know where the queen was. And if the queen was in East, which we think it is, we could cross back to dummy and take the finesse a second time. In this case, because both opponents followed, we know that the queen is now singleton. So we can simply pull the queen by playing the king, and we'll be done drawing trump. At this point, we're making the hand. We could just set up our heart suit and go home happy. Would you take the club finesse? Yes, I absolutely would. You have nothing to lose. If you don't take the club finesse, you're going to lose a club trick. If you take the club finesse, you're giving yourself a chance to not lose the trick. So this is a finesse with no risk. If you don't take it, you lose the trick. If you do take it, if it doesn't work, you lose the trick, but you're in the same place. If it works, you make an extra trick, and this might dramatically improve your score. So let's talk about the club finesse. How does the club finesse work? We play a low club from the south hand, forcing West to choose before we choose. If West plays the queen, we play the king, and our jack becomes good. If West plays low, we play the jack, and if West has the queen, we win the trick. If East has the queen, there's nothing you can do about it. You could also play the ace before you run this finesse, just to give yourself a little extra security. It's not going to cost you a time that you can finesse. It's also not going to cost you transportation, so there's no reason to not do it. Can we go the other direction? Can we take the club finesse by leading the jack? No. The jack is unsupported. We don't have the queen, we don't have the 10, we don't have any touching cards. So if you try and take this finesse by leading the jack, all that's going to happen is someone is going to play the queen on the jack. If East has the queen, they will play the queen when you lead the jack. And if West has the queen, when you lead the jack and play low from your hand, they will win the queen. The only direction that we can go is towards the jack by leading from the south hand, because if the jack gets covered, we don't get the promotion. If the very first club trick goes jack of clubs, queen of clubs by East, ace of clubs by us, and a club by West, the 10 of clubs has been promoted to the second highest club, and we don't have that card. Because we don't have that card, we can't run the finesse that direction. We can only go from our hand. So we are going to start by playing the ace. No reason not to. And now we are going to take the finesse. We're going to lead the 4, and if West plays low, we will play the jack. And if West has the queen, the jack will win. If we go back, if when you lead the 4, West plays the queen, you will simply play the king, and now your jack will be good. There is no reason to not take this finesse. If you take the finesse and it loses, you are going to lose that trick anyway, no matter what you did. But if you take the finesse and it wins, you're getting an extra trick, and now make it a very nice score. Thank you. It's almost fall. Yay! I hope you're staying cool playing bridge. Remember to like and subscribe. It really helps. See you next week.